Nah. Wait, what? Um. Well, the game is glitching out. I see a annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you know each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sighed and idle in front of the crosswalk and let catch up to me. Oh, that was weird. Hey, what happened to my save files? It's an ordinary school day like any other. Morning are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I've always told myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that, but I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I knew it. After I pick up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Did you? Monika. Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Ah, yeah, it has. Monika smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monika was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So, having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that. I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and felicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? It's always insisted that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member is a member, right? Did Monika say she? Hey, Digi. By any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? Ah, I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at least very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monika? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Ah, awesome! You're really sweet, did you? You know that? It's nothing really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monika and her irresistible smile. Okay, so we're gonna see right here. I typically follow Monika across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Monika, full of energy, swings open the doors. Swings open the classroom doors. My bad. I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. Eh? A guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Digi. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. So, let me guess. You're Monika's boyfriend, right? Ah. No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude whose name is apparently Natsuki is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably her first year. Anyways, this is Natsuki. Energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparable, more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So, I ran into Digi in the classroom, and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monika? Didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Yes, sorry. I did forget that. But I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Okay. Yeah, that would be great. I thought you'd come sit down, did you? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monika and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monika. So, I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monika must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not. Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Digi, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, consider how little I've read these past few years. I really don't have a good way of entering that. Manga. I muttered quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that could change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so relieved, so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes lit up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But, you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can be so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I could relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having conversation with a rock. I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left the piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. Give that back. Fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Well, we all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Yuri looks quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone is even. I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monika. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, Now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Digi? Hold on, there's still one problem. What's this? Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly came forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monika may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All the girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought. The girls exchange glances before Monika turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Digi. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Alright. Okay, I decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes lit up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, did you? Yeah. It could be fun, right? It really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. Digi, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks. I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignments. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting, so we can all share. Monika looks over to me once more. Digi, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Oh, we unlocked this special poem. Ooh, let's see it. Stare at the dot to reveal a special message. Oh. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, I guess we're all going for Yuri, I guess. Okay. Um... Actually, I want to see something. Okay. Hi again, Digi. Glad to see you didn't run away on us, haha. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. What? Aw. Thanks for keeping your promise, Digi. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Okay, the game is definitely glitching out now. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monika. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. She's over the text now. Natsuki, you definitely have a big mouth for someone who keeps manga collections in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monika and manga. Manga is literature. Something defeated, Natsuki pops back into her seat. I'm sorry, Digi. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have an interest in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now. It only feels right for me to do something like that, if you ask. Oh, wait. I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be part of this club, so even if I don't read often, I'll probably be happy to pick up a book if you want me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. And it's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. And this is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monika to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that didn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in the book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from her book. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, it seems to be on the she seems to be in the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. Then, I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... And that's the book that you gave me, right? I wanted to read some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday. That's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. That's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me. But I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the story about anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Prophet of Marv Cove. There's an ominous looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affecting them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Ah, are you not a fan of that sort of thing, did you? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories. No, don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. And it's just that this kind of story is the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. Then suddenly, I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's right then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. Hold on, thought. Oh, that's weird. Whoever that text was, it went so fast it's not even capturing it. Huh. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Yeah. I mean, you don't have to, but... what are you saying? Well, let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put in my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. Sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I still understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she is not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. What? Okay. Yeah, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do. I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean, here, this should work, right? I slid my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. Ah, I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead, I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and her forefinger. Ah. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a sec. Glance over Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'm able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continued reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assumed that she's finished the page before me, so I turned it on my own dilation. We continued the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently lets go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking of the way she second guesses things she says and all that. That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet. So, I don't know why that came into my head. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hand on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even realize. I didn't even notice. Anyway, it's fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Did something happen just now? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So, you don't know anything? Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? She might be a while, so I just figured we'll get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Okay, so I guess we do Monika. I should start with Monika. Yesterday she seemed eager to read my poem. I want her to know I'm putting in effort. Hi, Digi. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities, or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Uh-huh. Don't worry, Digi. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. It's just that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monika my poem. Great job, Digi. I was going in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easy for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, that's why it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know what Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Something I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally distracted from reality. I don't mean that like in a bad thing though. But something I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like this. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier, I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. We were all just starting sharing our poems with each other. Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monika. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Okay, so I'm assuming this is just the same poem. Actually, no. This poem looks different. Hold on. Hole in the wall. But he wasn't looking at me confused. I frantically glanced at my surrounding. But my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply palms of flat sheet of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fear, I brandish my pen. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. that's my writing advice. That is my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, so now we're gonna do Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lightening. Exceptional. Huh? What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Eh? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? For use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Oh. Wow, I know that. I just meant, Yuri shows up, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoughtfully. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there's a specific writing habit that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most notable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone. She sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but gathering them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in this club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if there's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't that supposed to be a literature club? Okay, yeah, so this is the same one as last time, okay. I'm curious, why is Monika's different? I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting's pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. To be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Huh. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, did you? Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I didn't even thought of that. Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's something really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. Ah, you know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Digi. Ah, me too. Okay, so now we can do Natsuki's. Well, it's about what I expect for someone like you. It's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotion. So basically, it's just not cute enough for your taste. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Okay, this is the same as last time too, okay. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest, I am. Why are you so convinced that I won't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But it's the point of the poems for people to express themselves. Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. It's like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. I expected that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I end up getting myself into. Across the room, Monika is writing something in her notebook. My eyes landed on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly skimmed sheets of paper, staring their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What with this language? Eh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feelings of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monika liked it, and Digi did too. So based on that, I'll go ahead and give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon. Unless, of course, I came across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Digi liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just judged that Digi appreciated my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I am full of myself, I'll be deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Digi started showing up. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. Taking out your own insecurities on others like that. You really act as young as you look, Natsuki. What the fuck? That me? Look who's talking. You wanna be edgy, bitch? Edgy? Sorry, that my lifestyle is too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get overly themselves after they graduate middle school, you know. If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. Whoa, be careful, or you might cry yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad, you really do, don't you? Did you just accuse me of just cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Let Gigi hear everything you really let you think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Eh? Suddenly Yuri turns towards me, as if she just noticed I was standing here. Digi, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. What? Oh, what the fuck? Hi, Monika. Hey, Digi. Why don't we step outside for a little bit? Okay. Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Huh? I'm president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth in her desk, with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki, or did. Neji, please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I am sure Natsuki will forget all about it by tomorrow. Completely. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monika. You can go first, Monika. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take the responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me to be around for something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Digi. That would just be embarrassing with you listening. Huh. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really appreciate you understand. What? Oh, Blanket, thank you so much for the care package.